All right, we did it. We're
You.
live. What up? Oh, I figured out how Matt gets here so early. So
That's
there's basically like
there's lag on our end.
no, there's like a URL for the stream that
Oh.
people can go to, and it's like I guess it's like always up. So there's basically like a video on YouTube that's just the channel stream, and that is always there, so people can hang out in the stream, in the channel stream on the page.
Even
but
if
like,
there's no live stream going?
yeah.
That is fucking weird.
Yeah, so like it'll
So
say,
what's going on in the live stream when we're not home?
I don't know, but
Yeah,
see
me
this
either.
link right
That
here.
worries
It's
me.
like, well, it's just kind of like a Let's see, it should be. It'll be us on live now. It'll be us on live. Yeah. See, so it's like, I don't know. This URL. It's youtube.com/c/424recording/live is always running.
I see.
So like people can just hang. Like if people know we're going on 7, they can hang out in the chat and like, hey Andrew, what's up? Matt,
What's going on, Matt?
What's going on, Matt?
Andrew.
Yeah, so that's cool that they have that. I was wondering though, because I was like, how do these guys like Matt? He gets in here, he's chilling in here before we're even set up.
Fucking logs in like 5 o'clock and just waits for something to happen.
That's pretty cool. Hey Charles, what's up? We're here for another live stream. It's Mike from 424 Recording, and I'm joined, as always, by Jay, the Wizard of Operation Audio and Bohemesphere Studio. We're just getting set up for the evening stream.
I mean, I think we're...
Oh yeah, we're already
there,
set
right?
up, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. What's been up, Jay? I know we didn't really catch up too much about this week. I haven't spoke with you too much, but
this week's pretty busy.
yeah, same here. I hear you've been working on the amps though still. That's
Yep.
pretty dope.
Sold one, working on another one. It's probably going to be a while before the second one gets bought by the place that bought the first one. So
Okay.
that second one's probably going to get finished up and then be offered up for sale at various locations on the intranet. But
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, those have been kind of moving a lot. Like all the ones you've been, because you kind of have a store that you do repairs for.
I have 3.
Oh.
There are 3 retail outlets that I'm the repair person for.
But so is there one? Do you provide all of them with amps, or is this kind of the one?
Just the one. The one's the only one that has ever showed any real interest. So
Right.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. The development, because it seems like that situation's been developing. He kind of wants to have a line.
Yeah,
of his
he
amps.
wants to have a line.
That's dope, man.
And I want to have his money, so and I like building amps, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, and I mean if that trend continues and I can sell him an average of 1 amp a month or better, I'll be making almost all the money I need to make in a month just off of that
Yeah.
one thing.
That's
so,
pretty sick. I mean, it seems like he's got a pretty good customer base, so.
yeah, one of the guys that bought one of the first sort of retro recycled amps I did for him was supposed to come up and buy that one that I just sold
the blue
him.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to come get the blue one the next couple weeks, so
Dope.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that that's developing. That situation's developing. That's cool.
Yeah. And anybody who follows me on the Instagram saw the
Don't sleep on the
some of
Instagram.
the pictures of the red one.
Yeah, the blue one looks sick too.
Yeah.
And then I recently saw that Dan Electro Reverb too that you had for repair. That looks cool too.
That belongs to the speaker shop that I work for.
Oh, really?
He got it for a pretty good deal.
What? That's awesome, Jeb.
Yeah, he got a good deal on it, and it was missing like the fuse holder cap, and it had a 2-prong cord on it. So
Updated.
I added a 3-prong cord and a proper strain relief, and yeah, I don't know, fucking put a new fuse holder in it. Somebody had already recapped it, so it really was just a matter of making sure that everything that somebody else had done was
Sound.
yeah.
Pun intended.
And whoever worked on that before, he bought that thing in Carolina, so I don't know who the hell worked on it, but whoever worked on it before did a nice enough job on it. So
That's
it really
cool.
was just a matter of tidying up, a few things around the AC and input. But
Awesome.
it's a very weird little reverb.
Yeah, if you want to check that out, head over to Instagram at Operation. Is it underscore audio?
Yeah.
At Operation underscore audio. Jay's got some pics of the amps we were just talking about and that reverb
I
unit.
think there's actually only one picture of.
The red one.
I don't think I put a front view. I think I just
It's
put
like a
the top view.
Yeah. Hey Bobby, what's up? We are just listening to the song that you wrote, the theme song. Matt said, I set an alarm for 6. I'm at work. My phone sits on the YouTube home screen until you pop up. That's awesome. Thanks, Matt. It's good to know we have an eager audience, captive audience. Andrew said those amps are sweet.
This is what the red one looks like before you put.
Oh yeah.
Before I put any poly on it, that's the front view.
That's dope, man.
So.
Is that one going on the IG or Instagram?
Well, this is the top before. That's the Instagram picture I put up.
Oh yeah. That's dope,
But
man.
no, I haven't put any of this up. That was the cabinet right after the stand.
No, is this the golden ratio thing you were saying?
It is.
Because it kind of looks like almost the size of that Unibox. Is it smaller than that? Or the Unibox is smaller than that?
They're similar in size. I haven't put them side by side, but I don't know. So I don't know. But
that's cool.
They're very similar. And I got a.
Hey, Jason, what's up?
I got a
Glad to have you.
I got a layout program this week that'll let you do vector art. So I've been.
What is that? Is it an Adobe program?
No. It lets you make shit like this.
Oh, cool.
Some fucking
nice.
Dope ass faceplates, man.
That's sick. So you get that printed up by the same place that printed up the badge?
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't had any made yet because these are about $65 a piece to make.
Oh damn.
But I finally have a program at least that will let me do it.
Hell yeah. Yo, Twin, what's up, buddy? He said I've been using the TascFam as a fuzz, and holy hell, it's awesome. Oh, that's awesome, Tom. We were just talking about. We were wondering how the TascFam was going with everybody. Jeb said he just had his pedal arrive to package, and he's opening it as we speak. So.
I figured all was good when I didn't get any.
I figured if we got that's what I figured too. I was like, no news is good news. I'm sure everybody's like settling in and plugging them in. I know Andrew was saying that he's over in England right now, or Ireland, at a guitar workshop. So you were saying your dad opened it for you, right? Or was that Matt? I can't remember. But that's fucking sick. Because I was like, I know some of you guys had gotten them, and some of you guys maybe were waiting to use them on stuff. And Matt Skizzo was saying he's been using it, and the song he sent sounded awesome. So he's like, I'm using this on everything. Like,
well, that's sort of what it was built for.
Yeah, that's the idea. We got Dennis. Hey, Dennis, Midnight by him too. Thanks for coming through. I guess Dennis and Andrew are in the same time zone right now over in Europe. So that's pretty cool.
Word.
You guys should get some tea together or something, or record a song on the 424. Jason made it through. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. As always, been chatting with Jason a little bit on the Patreon about stuff, and we've been talking a little about the podcast stuff too. So I think that's how Jason came across the channel. So good to see that you made it, Jason. Good to see you.
Yo.
Twin said, make sure you smash that like button. Yeah, do it up, fam. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so Andrew's dad did open. He was stoked when he saw it. Hand signed letter. Yeah, 9 of 20, baby. Revolution number 9, Jeb. That's awesome. Tearing it up. I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with. Seriously. So Twin said, I've been using it as a fuzz and as a treble boost. Going to try it on vocals tomorrow. That's awesome. Let us know how that goes. Seriously. I think that's one of my favorite uses, if not my main use for it. I mean, honestly, it's such a Swiss Army knife of a device. I was actually just telling some people about it today, and that's what's really cool about it, is that it's not just one effect. I mean, obviously it is an effect. It's one, it's in the overdrive distortion fuzz realm because it's overdrive and preamps. But there's so many uses for it, and that's kind of what I wanted to illustrate. And we did a bunch of videos on the channel during the Kickstarter and before the Kickstarter, and about all the different ways to use it, because at the end of the day, it's more of a preamp in pedal format than just like a traditional stomp box type deal. Because my main thing was, when I wanted Jay to make it, was just something that I didn't need to use my 4-track on my desk all the time because of real estate, and just using it as a preamp as I use the 424 and things for, just to get that fuzz. So I'd be like, put as many different things through it as you guys can, and let us know how it works out. I think like literally everything we put through it. There's like those 6 or 7 videos if you look on like the playlist tab of the channel or the Kickstarter. Um, if you want to hear some sounds, those are all just everything we could think of. We ran through it, like drums, vocals, guitar, bass, drum machine, synth, and you can add some really cool coloration to all that shit. So definitely a very versatile Swiss Army knife style.
Matt asking about microphones. If you want a cheap one, I would look at shit. What is that company, man? It just slipped me right there. You watched it happen.
Fine.
No. It's
Oh, I think I know which one you mean. They kind of do the copy of it.
yeah. Shit. Now I forget. I'll have to go back to that. Actually, I could see.
What are you guys know anything cheap or like
There's one in
clones?
specific.
Is it on Amazon maybe?
I'll Google it real quick.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I mean, I did that for Fine mic review. It was more of a karaoke kind of mic, and because I was curious about those myself because they were dirt cheap on Amazon, and for even $100 isn't bad for an SM57 or that style mic because you're gonna have that thing. It's a mic you can use on a lot of shit, and you'll probably have it as long as you're recording, as long as you want it. So they're good stuff, but the fact that you could get one for a quarter of the price and potentially get 4 of them for the same price.
Yeah. Actually, that GLS thing that he mentioned in there looks like it'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I have GLS cables that I really like.
Mm.
They're like these different colored ones. They work really well because if you look at the GLS audio cables, I think they're a little bit. They seem to be a moderate price, but what's cool is that there's like an orange, green, blue, purple, red, yellow. And when you're doing like drums or something, it's so much easier to be like, okay, the overheads are yellow and red, and the snare is blue, the kick is purple, whatever. So it's because otherwise you have a bunch of black cables, and it's hard to tell them apart when they're all on the floor and going in different directions. But I guess it doesn't work if you're colorblind. They got to put some patterns on there for the colorblind peeps.
Yeah.
I put honey in my coffee and was immediately yelled at.
Well,
I've done that before. Stream hiccuping? It seems good. I'm monitoring the public view. It looks okay. Samson mics? Is that what you're thinking?
no, not Samson. Hold on a minute.
I have a Behringer. I have a Samson Q kick.
Digital Reference. That's the brand.
Oh, Digital Reference. Okay.
The Digital Reference 57s. I got a pile of those when they first came out. I think it's is it the DR100 maybe? I think it's the DR100. I'm pulling it up right now, and I'll put a link out there.
Oh yeah, check those out, Bobby. Those are pretty cool.
They're actually up to like $50 now. I'm surprised.
Whoa. I saw actually. I
It
didn't
used
look.
to be like $8 a piece.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that's why I have so many
Oh
of
my
them.
god, that's nuts. Well, I saw that Glenn Fricker on that guy that always yells at you, the metal guy.
Yeah.
He did a video. I saw it come up in my feed. I didn't check it out yet, but it's about like the $30 SM57 versus like the clone SM57 versus the original one. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't check out the video, but if you want to compare the sounds, that seemed like a cool video.
I've done it. The Digital Reference ones do a little something different in the low end versus what a 57 does, but other than that, you'd be pretty hard pressed to tell them apart in a mix. To my ear, anyway. Here's a link to the.
Yeah, that was the thing with the Fine mic too. It was like for $30, like it sounded a little bit different, but you could use it just the same. Maybe a little bit of EQing and get you to the same place.
I would urge anybody who's looking for new cables to just buy bulk cable and ends and learn how to solder.
Yeah, that's always a good move too. I had gotten those GLS ones a long time ago before I was like really.
I have a whole pile of like the old musicians' gear ones or whatever before I was making cables.
Yeah, I've had pretty decent luck with my cables. I gotta say, like, never had a faulty one except those Hosa patch cables. Those things, I don't know. They seem to just have a mind of their own. ones that are plugged into the back of equipment, and then just one day they work, the next day they're shot.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
It's not very good cable to start with. That's why. Usually the host of stuff lasts for a little while at least, but making your own cables is where it's at. You can get the bulk cable for cheap, and you can get really good bulk cable for cheap. Markertech.com. Search the Canair wire.
That's what you use, right?
L4. What is it? L4R6ES, I think, is the quad star microphone cable. I use that shit for everything. And I have yet to kill a cable made out of that stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. At one point, you're saying the only thing that killed it was user error.
We've broken the ends off of a couple of the guitar cables I made out of that stuff, but never killed a cable. Just replaced literally just heat up the solder joints on the broken end, slip the old shit on, put the new one up, solder it in, it's done.
It's good to go.
Yeah, have yet to actually kill one.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So Twin said the Fricker vid, I guess it sounds like he did a blind taste test of it, or a blind test he's releasing the next one. Which one is which next week? That's really cool that he's doing it like that. I'll have to check that out. Oh yeah, the hand-drawn panel. That's for sure. I had to dig up my old notebook that was from I filled up one notebook, this year, and then all that stuff about the TascFams was my other one. So
wait, did John get the one with the drawing inside?
He got the face one, the one you did that random.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to dig up that old. I had like a handwritten list of what people wanted, and we made sure that we came through on those. So thank you, Jeb. Glad you're enjoying it, and we dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's.
Man, I'm fucking tired tonight.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the other thing that's been messing with me here, I mean, I guess in the Northeast and probably everywhere now, since the planet is starting to tilt away from the sun, is that why it's getting a lot darker here?
I guess.
Whatever the planetary, not sure. I think maybe that's just winter, but it's definitely getting darker here. Like the other night, I thought it was like it had to be like 9:30, and it was like 6:45. I was like, what the hell? Like I don't know. I just kind of got lost in time, and so I feel like that's been making me more tired because it feels like it's later than it is.
Word.
Because right now it almost feels like it's 9 and it's 7:24. So
yeah,
it's kind of nuts. Hey Scott, what's up? Metal song? Whenever you want. I would say just get it done by the fall. I'm gonna have mine done on the. I pretty much have mine done. I kind of realized I feel like I kind of nailed it, rocked it out of the park with those tracks I released a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if I'm gonna redo them. I really like the way that they came out, but maybe I'll do a couple more. But so I'm planning on having a video done, I think on the 26th of the song, if I can make it happen. So. I'm not sure what the video is going to be this week because I don't know. I feel like I kind of crushed it. So I'll have to do something creative this week. I've been doing some videos in November actually, getting ahead of schedule. So, but basically I guess next couple weeks. But fall song challenge is just to get people motivated and inspired to record some new music. Like Bobby was saying, he stepped out of his comfort zone, recorded that track about me and Jay and the channel. And that's really why I decided to do metal, because I never really did any metal music. I never really listened to much metal music. And last year I did the hip hop track, same deal, just getting out of my comfort zone, trying something new, trying out some new equipment, trying out some new techniques. So I don't know, just a different way of looking at stuff. I was talking about this on the podcast that's coming out tomorrow. It's actually a solo podcast because I didn't have anybody to interview this week, or I had a couple cancellations, but I was talking about that today a little bit, just about whenever I feel like something's getting tiring or like it feels like work, I try. It's time to pivot into a different kind of music or different creative process, and I don't know. That seems to work for me. I've been realizing like you get tired of doing indie rock or acoustic rock stuff, like do something completely different. Do a complete 180, shift it. You get tired of making music, go paint for a while. Go paint some figures or paint a picture.
If you're doing enough of a mix of all the things, I feel like you'll never get tired of
Yeah.
any single one of them.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's too like
that's just me.
the video stuff. Like I've been wanting to do a little bit different style and changing up the angles and changing up my approach. And it's really important. I think it's especially for me. I don't know. I don't think it's like an ADD thing. I just think it's once you get a process. When I get a process down and I get a routine down, I get bored of that routine very quickly. I don't know. Maybe that's most people, but
Yeah, I think routines are boring for everyone.
yeah. I mean, I think there's like a certain amount of structure that's great. But then there's some things that it's almost like improv, like it's time to make some improvisational stuff, or being able to roll with the punches, or if something changes and doing something else. Like today, I was trying to do something, and like every fucking like chance I had to do it, there was somebody like power washing outside, and then there was like a bus, the short bus that pulled up was like idling for like 20 minutes. And then so these guys were like painting the parking lot and doing shit. And it was just like one thing after another. I was like, I had this block of time to work on something. And I was like, you know what? This is just not going to happen. Let me pivot into, I wanted to go exercise and go for a walk because it was like beautiful out, and it's just, I don't know. I used to be really not as good at doing that. I'd be kind of hard headed and be like, well, I need to just do this now because I want to do it. And kind of realizing the flow of things now is kind of if you can bend to the will of certain things, it sometimes, I don't know, feels a lot more positive than because I would have tried to kept recording and just getting pissed because like stuff was going on outside, and then I would not have exercised. But instead, I exercised when a lot of bullshit was happening, and then found a window later that I could do it in.
Sometimes you just gotta embrace the ambient noise too.
Yeah. I was getting to a point where I was like, you know what? This episode or this thing is just gonna have this fucking white noise in the background. So,
Someone outside literally just said if she's scared of the boogeyman, you're gonna have to literally just really look at your shit.
yeah, I wonder if that picked up.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, we got the windows open tonight because it's like nice and cool.
That was something.
I don't know. It's like really funny.
I guess somebody's afraid of the boogeyman. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The boogeyman.
Hell yeah. Oh, Andrew's going to sleep. All right. Have good dreams and good luck making those guitars. Thanks for stopping through, Andrew.
Later on, Andrew. What's going on there, David?
Matt said I'm a bit off, like chew with the challenge. I don't know what
bit off more than he could chew.
Oh. I don't know what possessed me to write a MIDI drum track from scratch. Well, keep it simple. Keep it simple, Matt. Don't go crazy. Keep the drum track simple. Oh, cool. Synth pop electronic. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear that. Yeah, see, that's awesome. Definitely not the norm for Charles. Yeah, definitely step outside of that, I think it helps. That was the thing with making that cheddar. Like Bobby was saying, it's in his head all day. Like, that song literally, it was so much fun to do. That's like the metal stuff I did. It was like so fun. I had like no pressure on myself. It was just, but in a way, it's almost like some of the funnest stuff I've ever recorded, because it was just like.
You know what one's been stuck in my head recently?
What?
You ever hear the song Danny Boy?
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that for the Irish punk band, and then I had to write a punk rock version of it. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Like, not really.
No.
I hate that song. But
did you speed it up at least? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It starts off with a traditional. There's like half a verse that's traditional, and then the guitar kind of goes. Yeah.
Nice. I
figured out the fucking lead line as a melody and shit.
Cool. And that's challenging you to work outside your comfort zone.
I had to figure it out like out of my head though, because the way that we're playing it, the key we're playing it in, doesn't match anything that's recorded that I've found. It's had to be retuned to work with the bagpipes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think but the power of like trying something new, that flexes some muscles that maybe you don't do as much as Surmiser,
I mean, I do it a lot with the Irish band, both in the studio and now playing live and in person. So it's sort of, I don't know. I really have a lot of fun doing like the improv stuff and also having to learn weird shit just by ear on the fly.
Yeah.
It's actually more fun, I think, than writing songs and you know,
Yeah, yeah. There's an
committing
element
to
that.
parts, like having a track open in front of you with all of its elements there except for the element that you're providing, and then figuring out what that element can be and what to let it do.
Yeah.
That to me is really
That
fun.
sounds exciting, yeah.
It is.
That's like what I like about the Digitakt stuff, the drum machine, and it's more of an instrument than a drum machine. So I never really play live with it. Maybe I'll do a couple streams here and there, vids, but it's cool because it has that element too of improvisation, and, being writing rock, pop, indie rock shit. It's very, like you said, like you make this structure. There's very little improvisational within that, and
Right.
It gets old. It can get old, man. I'm getting old. I think maybe I'm just a little burnt out on the indie rock.
Yeah. Do something else.
Yeah, hell yeah. A little wiser. Yeah, thanks, man. What did you guys say?
You're way behind, huh?
Oh, David, what's up? Yeah, I haven't been keeping up. Hey, David. Listening again. Really. Oh, thanks, man. You may be sick. No, I still a little wiser. That one. I don't know. Something about that one I could play all the time. I like that one too. I really like how that came out. I really like how we play it live, like the different versions of it. I think what I'm gonna do. Somebody mentioned this, maybe David or a couple of you guys were asking me. I think what I'm gonna do is make a acoustic album. Go back through the albums and make like a greatest hits, even though I don't, not like known musician, but go back through the four things I've released as Be Cool Cowboy and kind of make a acoustic greatest hits. Use
Best
that term
of.
loosely. Best of, yeah, the ones I like, yeah. Then Little Wiser will definitely be on there. So what did I miss here? MIDI kicks.
Yeah, toms are good for fills. Just don't overdo it. Don't overdo it.
Yeah,
It's better to have an overstated drum track, or rather an understated drum track that serves the song, than it is to have an overstated one that fucks up the timing of everything else. So.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing with the drum. And that's what I was talking about in that Andersen video about how to use the drummer thing. At least the one in Logic is a lot of the time, like just with those like fake drums or the drum. I mean, they've gotten a lot better and it sounds a lot more realistic and there's more control over it. But yeah, like David's saying, the velocity, and then what Jay said with the toms, it's like some of those fills that Anders will perform without even like
Without asking.
Yeah,
just play him on his
he'll
own.
just play him on his own, or like.
Yeah.
No human being would ever,
Yeah,
play.
no.
I've never heard a human person play anything that resembles some of those fills, and it's like, I don't know. Simple. I think simple and understated, like you said. Like here, once in a while, here and there, it sounds cool.
Simple and understated will almost always serve the song.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, there are always songs where like an understated drum track, you know, if you put a little bit more flash and pizzazz in it, it might do something to put the song over the top. But, a good solid drum track is far better than a complicated drum track that is poorly performed or executed or programmed.
Yeah, for sure.
I
used to play with a guy that, this is a long time ago, but he always played like much simpler stuff when we practiced, and he was tight. And then when we went to play live, he would change it up completely and try to do
doesn't
these
really work.
crazy heroic theatrics. And it was like, dude, the fuck? It just wouldn't work. I thought we had this down. What would Jay do? My new life model. We gotta, you see, and you don't even need to you can get those. What would Jesus do? Bracelets, and then when somebody asks you, hey,
Change your own
that?
meaning.
Yeah,
Make your own
there
meaning.
you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, keep it simple.
If you ever have to ask yourself what it is that I would do in any given situation, the answer is 90% of the time going to just be fuck it and walk away.
I don't think that's a bad life motto in a lot of situations.
If you're like talking to me in the night and stuff, like
Uh-oh, we got the spinning wheel here. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. Can you guys still hear us?
Hello?
Why does this happen? It seems like whenever we get like a little bit through here, let me check it out.
Yeah, I don't know. The live chat is.
We're still going over here.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know, fam. Not sure what's up. We got a little bit of a hiccup here.
I got no video, and the chat actually won't run up on the
me
The
refresh
Wi-Fi's
here.
fucking up again.
All right, let me go to LTE. What the hell?
Yeah, on LTE I hooked right up.
We're still streaming here, it looks like, but I don't see anybody. All right, anybody there? Anybody out there? We have been having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, your internet crashed. That's what it is. Router's down.
Oh,
Your
okay.
computer just came up too. No Wi-Fi.
Anybody still there? I think I'm on LTE now, so it should be still going.
You
Yeah,
guys
you're-
out there?
Yeah, you're still streaming. I still see you on here.
Yeah, it's live.
The counter went up, so we got more people in here. But I don't know if you guys can hear us. Hopefully you can hear us. The Wi-Fi took a shit as usual, and I guess I'm gonna go reset that. But Jay, I don't know.
Still going yet blurry. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
For some reason, about this time every stream, it seems like maybe a little later, the router takes a dump, and usually Mike's wife is watching Netflix at the same time, and for some reason it like doesn't affect her, but maybe because there's like enough buffered content where it's not a problem, but it always kicks us off. But it's not a problem, but it always kicks us off. But she's not even here tonight, so
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck. Maybe there's something that happens like in New Paltz and like
super weird.
the central hub that feeds everybody shit just
Yeah.
takes a fucking dump.
So strange. Is the chat still going?
Yeah, chat's still active.
All right. The phone is not updating, but it's all right. Well, yeah. So
I don't
I
know
don't
what
know.
the
I
hell.
reset the Wi-Fi. It is weird though. It seems like without fail this time, like you were saying, I heard you in there. Is like this time of day. It's like
Well, I always assumed it was because she was watching Netflix and we were doing all this with my phone and your
Yeah.
computer and that hooked up at the same time.
I know,
But you removed the Netflix from the equation tonight,
yeah, and
and it still did it. So
it's still
that's
doing
not
it.
what it is. It's not Beck's fault.
no, it's not. It's very strange. Like,
Not sure.
and because this is like the only night we usually run into a Wi-Fi issue too. I don't know if it's like you said. Maybe there's
Too many devices tied in.
I was looking. I did like a speed test too the other day because I started looking into. Oh, there we go. I started looking into whatchamacallit.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
Hey, what's up, Tom? Good to see you. Yeah, we just had a brownout over here. Slumberous State, what up? Yeah, we just had like a.
Slumber State is asking about videos on the 424 MK1.
Oh, you mean that guy back there? I got mine set up now. I could do some more. Right now it's not working properly though. The record head's not engaging, but yeah, we could do some vids. Anything in particular you're looking for? Yeah, some it's just weird. I don't know why this thing always decides to take a crap, but oh yeah, I was looking into like live streaming like devices, you know. That shit is expensive. Like my phone works pretty goddamn good for, you know, what it does, but some of the stuff out there, it's like
Yeah,
you can get these
worth it.
crazy setups. And then the other thing is if you don't have like, you know, T1 or
Won't do you any good anyway.
yeah, so it's like it's tough. I feel like it's interesting. I'm interested to see what happens when the live stream technology really gets. I don't know. It seems like one of those technologies right now where it's obviously with the phone it works. You can live stream from your computer, but in order to do like some of those streams, because like I thought it'd be cool to have picture in picture, or we could bring something up on the Chrome and show it off, or like
Right.
have like a mixer and do different stuff.
Or it does like a screen mirror thing.
Yeah, but like I was trying to. So the other day on Monday, I had some time. My buddy Greg, that was in that movie, he's like this actor that was in Sean's movie, and I was just talking to him. I've been talking to him a lot about just creativity and getting stuff done, and having gone through the things he's gone through, and basically just creative thoughts. And I wanted to do a stream with him live. I was trying to set up through like OBS and the streaming software. It was just like not happening.
Yeah.
And I think it was a combination of my computer is 2015, OBS software doesn't work that great, and then like my Wi-Fi isn't amazing. So it's just like, because I see streams like that, I'm like, that would be fucking cool. We could have people call in, or have somebody like a picture in picture, or like interview somebody, or
Right.
have guests like remotely, but it's just like right now, maybe in a couple of years if we're doing it. But right now the technology, it's like you can invest in thousands of dollars into the tech, but then again, it's like you need that fiber optic.
Yeah, and you're not likely to find that too many places.
No. Just thanks, Joe. Mike, you don't need guests or tech. Just take off your shirt. Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks, Joe. Get the ladies in here. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's wired over Wi-Fi. Yeah, I was trying that, Tom, too. The thing is, like, you can do that with a computer, but I don't think you can wire it through the phone because I have the I don't know if the Lightning port accepts cable signal, because I got an adapter to go into the computer when we were using the computer, and had the that one time I think Twin was here, a couple of you guys were here, we had the second Capro camera, remember that?
Yeah.
And that was like we had two of them going, and that was cool, but
I feel like it didn't really like that so much.
it didn't exactly, and it was through the computer, so like something like that works, like you're saying, Tom. You can put in the it's like a hard wire. I had that long. Remember, I had the long blue cable that from the router or right from the thing, and we were hard lined, and it works.
What about
all
a
right.
stream where we play Guitar Hero or Rock Band? I'm terrible at both of those games because I actually play the notes where the notes are supposed to be when it comes to the song, and there's a latency in the controller. I never win, ever.
I don't know.
You have to like play ahead of the fucking song.
Huh. So yeah, because you could do. What about the drums? You think you could rock out the drums, the vocals?
I wouldn't even try the vocals, but
I don't think I've played those games. The last time I think I may have played one is like, I don't know, 6 years ago. Is that like?
last time I played one
I
of those
played
games
the first
was
one.
at Tom's parents' house when his younger brother had that shit set up in the living room.
Nice.
This is very, very difficult.
Do people still? Do you guys still play that? Is it still something that's like? Is it popular still? Because I remember that seemed like it
I
was.
don't fucking know. I don't know what the hell's popular.
Well, I just like gaming wise. I remember like that was like the shit, man. Like people, that was like huge. I don't know if it's still a franchise that people are into.
I think gaming wise, the thing that's popular is, have you heard, what the fuck is that one game? That,
Fortnite?
Like, is that it? Where like people are like getting divorced and shit?
Yeah.
That seems to be pretty fucking popular. If it's ruining marriages
that seems
and shit.
to be the thing, right?
That's a pretty popular one.
The what is it? The battle royale thing. Yeah, that
I don't know what it is, but
that's funny too. Joe said those guitar controllers are popular at the Goodwill for sure. I was just in we have the Salvation Army over here, and I was in there.
When were you there? Today?
No, last week.
I was gonna say, because we went to like Goodwill and Salvation Army in Hudson today.
Dude, that would have been fucking hilarious if I had run into you. But I found two huge stacks of games. This is why I was asking this too. And they're like mostly sports games, and then rock. Every version of Rock Band you could ever want, and every version of The Sims. I don't know, those three games. It was like, and I'm like, I guess these games just aren't. I mean, sports games seem like they have a really short half-life. Like as soon as the next one comes out the year after, it's like that you might as well chuck out FIFA 18, and once FIFA 19 comes through, and it's funny.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We could definitely do something like that. We'll have to get a hold of some controllers. We'll go to the Goodwill like Joe suggested, and I'll go get the Rock Band. I'll get the Rock Band stack at the Salvo, and we'll fucking rock it out. That would be a fun stream. Oh yeah, somebody's asked about manuals. Slumber Estate, I think. There's a few manuals on the forum. Let me see if I can link it. We had a little manual section on the forum, and I put up, because the 424 Mark 1 is kind of hard to find. I put that one up. Will, who did the art for the pedal, had made a ebook about maybe is it he made an ebook about, is it, no, that's Jay's tech info schematics. Yeah, he made an info book about like caring for your 424. Jay's put up a lot of tech info schematics on here. Maybe it's under the 4-track section. 4-track and related manuals. Yeah, so here's a board that has all the different manuals so far we talk about.
Most of the stuff I've posted is to like obscure like stereo reverbs and weird shit.
Right. Yeah. I saw the pioneers and stuff. But what's cool is, can I comment right here? I guess so. What's cool is that so that link I just posted will take you to all the manuals and stuff we've collected on the forum so far. If you're not part of the forum, you can join up at 424recording.com/forum. It's a free forum, and it's just all sorts of info. What's cool is I actually was searching for a 424. If any of you guys have one, please send it to me. A 424 Mark III service manual. Seems to be hard to find on the interweb.
Yeah, it is.
And
without paying for it.
Without paying for it. And I saw that I was searching for that, and ironically, the forum came up with the link to these manuals. So that's what made me think of it again. So yeah, if you need manuals for stuff, and check out Will's ebook. Joe asks, "Are you excited that Kanye and Trump got the Music Modernization Act passed?" I think it's cool that I think it's funny that the one thing it seems like everybody unanimously agrees on is that we need the Music Modernization Act. I think it went through, completely unanimous vote. Like, yeah, like this is something we need to do.
I don't even know what that act is, but those two individuals should be fucking jettisoned into the depths of a black hole.
I honestly didn't know that they had anything to do with it. I don't know if Joe's being facetious. I'm pretty out of the loop in terms of all this
I don't know
stuff.
anything
I've been thinking about getting more into music news at least. But I did hear somewhere that it was like unanimously, everybody's Congress and Senate and all these governing bodies are always disagreeing about everything, can never get anything done, and this was like something that everybody was like, yep, like everybody stamped it.
I don't even know what the fuck it is. What is the Music Modernization
All right,
Act?
let's look it up. I looked it up a little bit. It's about
is that saying that like
a big part of it is streaming
are no longer allowed in music? It has to all be digital production.
Yeah, no more rock guitars is one of the big.
There are no more acoustic drums allowed.
No more, yeah. The
banjos are
call up
outlawed.
Anders or Ian or
Yep.
Kyle in GarageBand.
Music Modernization Act. There you go.
Yeah. What else? You can't use any. You can only use plugins for.
Yep. There's no more outboard.
Rack gear. You can't. You gotta get rid of all your rack gear.
From now on, all interfaces will be sold with just a stereo left-right output, main output. No line sends.
You have to master everything only through Lander, and it's got to be like so fucking blown out and it's compressed. So there's a lot of little rules in here. Make sure you guys.
Pedals must be pedals on blast. Sure hope that's not the case.
That's why I got mine. I got mine right there. That's right. All pedals must be metal zone. If you're gonna make metal, that's a big a big bullet point of it. I was kind of ahead of the curve on that. That's why I kind of picked one up. I had heard some rumblings about that, so I wanted to make sure I got one. No, but in all seriousness, those things are true. And also, it looks like, I think there's a lot of it has to do with, I'm reading an article right now on Billboard. I think a lot of it has to do with streaming. Because there's some artists are complaining that they're not getting paid out properly for the streams, or they're behind on it. And I mean, I had always heard that was happening. I heard that Spotify owes like all these, labels and people tons of money. But
that's because there's not been anybody to hold them accountable for it.
Right.
And most artists that employ those services have no legal representation.
I guess it's. So
there's no real precedent or upheld mandate for those major services to make sure that they're paying out. There hasn't been any real legal action that way that I know of.
Right. Yeah. It's. I feel like it's sort of the whole sphere of streaming. It's kind of developed over the past few years, and it's also kind of been like the Wild West. It's still like, we're not really sure what's going on out there, and it's kind of like, who knows what the exact laws are with stuff. And,
well, this is also you're sort of running down a short list of the catch-22 of the backside of independent music.
Can you elaborate on that?
It's like the fucking wild west because everybody's out, every man for themselves. There's no, that's what happens.
Yeah.
When you force artists to work that way, they will find every outlet they possibly can to get their music out to as broad an audience as possible.
Yeah.
And then on the back end of that is all this bullshit. Everybody, not getting paid or not getting credited or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah, I guess they said they want to get better rates for ASCAP and
yeah, but
songwriters.
unfortunately, if most people don't read like the whole user agreement for all these services and all these places, because it's like 36,000 fucking PDF pages long and it's all loopholes and jargon.
Yeah.
And if they did read all that bullshit or had some interpreter look it over and explain it to them in plain English, they would realize that, those services are set up to get your music out to listening audiences, but those services are also set up to make themselves money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So whatever you think you're owed, you better check the clerical side of that contract.
I think that's, yeah.
There's a very good chance that you're not actually owed even a fraction of what you think you are. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot to do with royalties. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. It also ensures songwriters are paid a portion of mechanical license royalties, either physical or digital. It revamps the rate court process when disagreements over royalties arise. Has a lot to do with it. Looks like there's an act just about classics, like older stuff. I'm assuming they would use that acronym. That's a good question though, Joe. It's something I saw it too, and I kind of glossed over it. Kind of heard it went through. Everybody was for it, and that it's a good thing overall. So I guess we'll see what happens. And it looks like it's called the Orrin Hatch Bob Good Latte Music Modernization Act. So good latte. I don't know. For some reason, I just think that's funny. Yes, the boss, the new Waza Metal Zone. I thought that was ironic too that came out. And they also, Awful 360 record deal. Spotify pays about, what is that, 1/6,000th to 1/8,000th per stream. That's how you get rich quick. The thing is, like, the people making money on that is like Drake, Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, Kanye. Anybody who has millions and billions of plays of these songs, like, do the math on that. A million is what? Move the decimal place over by 3 or 4, or no, 6 rather. Yeah. So every 1,000 plays, every million plays is like $6,000 to $8,400. So if you are able to get a song on a playlist, or you're one of those huge artists we just mentioned, you could potentially make a lot of money. But that's the top 1% of people in the pyramid. Like, those motherfuckers are making some serious cheddar through Spotify and streaming, because everybody is streaming their shit. They're on the Spotify top 50. They're on just huge artists. So I mean, like, there's some people that are making a lot of fucking money. But that's something I talked about Just a Trick. And I'm just like some dude on the internet and has a small channel with you guys hanging out and putting my music out, but it cost me hundreds of dollars to put the shit on Spotify and all that stuff. And every time I put it up, it's kind of like I'm hustling backwards. It's like, yeah, I just spent $500 to get it on, all my stuff, or whatever, $400 to get it. I'm talking about like lifetime, not just on one thing. I didn't get swindled, but I was looking at the numbers. I think I netted like $50. And since Little Wiser, the first thing I put out, that's been 2015. So, it's been 3 years and made $50 and spent probably about 10 times that amount. So maybe it'll catch up, maybe it won't. But I'm not. We're not the people that are going to be making money off those streams. But those dudes getting 1 million plays, 400 million plays, 1 billion plays on this stuff. Like, those guys are making some serious fucking cheddar per track, and that's why a lot of those hip hop albums, like a lot of Drake stuff he's been putting out is, 18 track albums, because people stream him and listen to him all the way through, and he's got each one of those tracks has 400 million plays, or I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but 400 million plays, if it's 6K per million. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. And that, but again, You can get rich quick if you're a well-known person. Yeah, but that's a good point too, Charles. If it's your own, obviously, but those people have labels and people they got to pay, But I wonder how much of that actually trickles back to the artist. If you were a true indie artist, you could get 20 million plays on one of your songs, and you make 6,000 per million. Now you're talking some money there. 60. That's like $120,000, right? If you got 20 million plays and it's $6,000 per million, it'd be 20 times 6.
I have no idea.
20 times 6,000.
Somebody just accused me of not being not caring about no cheddar. I don't really care about cheddar.
Yeah.
All the streaming stuff is really just like a formality to me. I don't know anybody that makes a significant amount of money off of it. Yeah,
I don't know anybody either. I mean, I know my one friend's band that they are West Meets West. I've been meaning to talk to Sam at some point on the podcast or have a video with him, and one of their songs, they're like kind of explosions in the sky, instrumental stuff. Had a song, a couple albums on playlists. I mean, on Spotify. Somehow one of their songs got onto a coffee house playlist and netted 5-6 million plays because every thousands of coffee houses across the world opened up shop, put this playlist on. Sam's band's song plays in all these different places, and that's the only person I've ever met, person to person, who's like an indie artist and who's had some kind of gain from streaming, and it was kind of just completely dumb luck. But it's a gatekeeper game as anything, it's all about getting on playlists. It's all about getting on, some Spotify top 50 or even smaller playlists than that like this playlist where it's playing, it's coffee house playlist, background music, and so many businesses put this on, and every day there's, you get all these plays. And that money that they've been able to, from what I understand, I haven't spoke with them about it, but they all live in different states, and that really keeps their band going, I mean, 5 million. I mean, I don't know. They obviously have other revenue sources in play, but
Matt, recommend an amp height mic stand, short mic stand, anything that's sold as a mic stand for a kick drum. They also sell some short ones that are meant to like wiggle into the kit for like snare drums and shit.
I got this guy. Is this too short?
That's probably too short. I would look for something with a telescoping boom that's sold as a kick drum mic stand. The bass will be heavy, but the whole thing will be fairly compact, and you'll get, you probably could get, I don't know, 2.5 or 3 feet out of some of those, depending on, what it is that you're micing. You also could buy a cheap shit mic stand and fold it down all the way, slide the leg base up to whatever height you think, and cut it off with a fucking Sawzall, and you can make it however tall or short you need it to be. I have a couple of those too.
I got a couple of those too, just because.
Put some gaff tape on the bottom of it so it doesn't fuck up the floor underneath it when you use it. But
yeah. Oh, hey, Mike. He said Spotify sucks. Tidal is the best. Interesting. That's Jay-Z's platform, right?
I don't know.
Oh, Lapro, Matt. We were wondering what happened to you, bro. How's that TascFam working out for you? Bobby said, when I was signed to a record deal, Hairball 8, we got burned. Anything we made went straight to the label for the next 3 years. I saw they pay more. Cool. I saw something about how, I forget, I came up in my feed again on YouTube, and it was how the music industry used to work, and it seemed really fucked. There's like a lot of money. Basically, a lot of you guys in the chat are saying it's, and Bobby's saying it's, it was basically designed to screw the artists over, and a lot of costs, hidden costs, and things of that nature. And actually, the reason this video was made is they were talking about how some of this stuff has spilled over into the modern era. And one of the things which I thought was really interesting, so record labels used to say with like CDs and vinyl, they used to factor in, okay, 10% of the shipment is breakage, so we're going to add that on top.
Mm-hmm.
So that has carried over into the digital era. So now they still say, hey, on those digital tracks we just sent to iTunes and put on Spotify, 10% of that's breakage, so we're going to take that out of the pile too. How the fuck do you break a digital download during shipment? How do you even... Digital downloads, you can have an infinite amount of digital downloads that cost nothing to produce. But yet these companies, because it's grandfathered in or because they're trying to some sneaky shit, say that, well, we 10% of the cost of shipping these products, which is a fucking digital product, it's not a physical product, or can break, and we're losing money from digital downloads breaking, meaning like as if they could physically break, not just like the link's broken or something like that. This is like literally some play on word bullshit. Like, oh, well, so we did this with vinyls, we did this with cassettes, we did this with CDs, because when they ship them here to there, ship them to Tower Records, and some kid drops them, or maybe I dropped the case and something broke. Okay, well, we have that factored in case shit breaks. The other thing that's fucked up is that they used to give this same kind of deal. They gave record stores and music stores, I think, 10 extra copies per 100. So, and all those extra 10 copies...
That was your breakage copies.
Right, and then, but the thing was, they didn't... Those copies, so they were taking money for breakage, and then they weren't... Those extra 10 copies weren't
there was no compensation.
The artist.
Right.
So all this shit, I don't know. That video made me like I was like, man, because everybody, that's the end all. We're gonna sign to a label and do all this shit, and I mean, for pretty much every story I've ever heard about anybody doing anything that resembles anything remotely like that. Somebody mentioned 360 deals. If you don't know what that is, I would definitely look it up. Yeah, I think the name of the game is figuring out how to get. If what you're doing is trying to grow your business or your band, if you consider it a business, or grow your image, attention is king, and figuring out how to get people to interested in your stuff yourself, I think is really the game. Because if you can do that, if you can have your own TascFam that is just chilling and hanging out and enjoys the stuff that you're doing, you don't need. If Johnny Cassette Label calls me up and says, hey man, I want to put this stuff out or something, it's kind of like, I don't know why. What are you going to do for me that I can't do for myself? And I think that's the whole thing in the digital era. It's you can do it yourself if you really want to.
I think the only reason to really attach to a label modern day would be to get their distribution. If they don't have distribution, then you might as well just send them a fucking rubber dick in a box when you're supposed to be sending the master tape, because they can do about fuck all for you. So
yeah. I don't know. Again,
so Skiz is enjoying the
cool
TascFam.
That's awesome.
Yeah, clean to mean was the idea. So hopefully everybody's pretty much finding that same thing to be true. Yeah.
That's good, Mike. You gotta put those pennies in the bank, man. Penny saved is penny earned. Bobby said when I was young and dumb. That's one of the record label stuff. Only the show money was ours. Yeah, I think that's still the same thing. Live is still king in terms of money.
And the show money, unless you have like a booking agent or some sort of representation to like sell a package, like your show money's gonna be shit too.
Yeah. Poor Anders, he must really get screwed. No money, what exactly? Yeah, can you imagine that? And Mike said he's still trying to hit $10. Yeah, that's the same thing with I explained before. I made maybe $50 from streaming over the past couple of years and invested $400, whatever.
Oh Christ, when it comes to playing shows, man, I'm still like surprised when people try to pay us.
Yeah.
Like I think one time we got like $40 or something. It's like,
really? Yeah.
Like, well, that just paid for the diner on the way home. Nice. Nice one.
It's always good. It's always nice when that happens.
But it's like, you can't play shows for the money. You
Oh,
really
that's-
can't
that's
make.
the
You
classic
can't
meme.
really make music at this level for the money
No,
either. I mean,
that's the classic meme. Is musician is somebody who puts $5,000 or no.
yeah, $5,000 worth of equipment into a $500 car to drive 50 miles to make, or drives.
Yeah.
I forget what the mileage was to make $50 basically.
Yeah. So it's like, you really can't. I mean, unless you're, I don't know. I've never known anybody that makes any kind of living off of playing shows. People I know do it for the love of it.
But I will say that, like John just said, damn it, you're going to have to keep working for a living. Like, there are a lot of people that write jingles and stuff and, like, spend their days in their house in their underpants, writing jingles and selling that shit. So,
yeah,
there are a lot of things you can do in music that will yield you a lot of money. It just won't be, your most likely won't be your
won't be your art.
Your art, or
if you're writing a jingle for plumbing fluid. I mean that's dope. Hey, if you can make a living off doing that,
there's a lot of people that do.
Sean, my buddy, made that movie, and he paid some guy a few K to do the soundtrack and make original music for it. That's fucking cool. I would love to do that. At one point, I was almost going to do it, but I guess you needed. I don't know all the ins and outs of that stuff, but I think there's some stuff you can still make some bank. A lot of people, Sean was telling me, and friends of his do licensing with like smaller indie licensing companies, and they make some bank off that.
Sure.
But again, like it's not going to be Little Wiser that they're looking for. It's going to be
well, it might not be Little Wiser proper that they're looking for. It might be.
I guess the bands that he's kind of showed me that do this are kind of like, really. It's not ignorable. Like,
but a lot of those things they want.
I mean that in a good way.
A lot of those things they want like a 30-second edit of some song with no vocals, and it's like
and then
so
it could
be
a really traditional sounding, somebody who's got like an American Idol kind of voice.
Might not even be vocals. Like a lot of the things that I've seen that go out that way have no vocals at all.
That too, yeah.
It's really about like.
I guess it just seems like that Americana, like style seems to be the thing that they want.
There's a lot of that. I don't know. There's
like
a lot of things.
Like rip off instrumentals. Like you hear that shit all the time.
Sure.
If you can write blues instrumentals that sound like Black Keys songs, you could probably make a small fortune.
But what that really comes down to is having somebody to work with who can shop it for you, because trying to shop that on your own is very difficult.
Yeah, well, that's the point with this is they tour and play shows and play out, but the money that they're making isn't generated from shows, and that's like a complete passion project. It's generated from getting a $4,000 check every couple months because this company wanted to use your song in a corporate meeting or some bullshit. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It's all about selling out to the highest bidder, the lowest bidder. Really, I think it's kind of a race to the bottom at this point. But that was my point, really quick, about Mike said he's still trying to make $10 on his streaming stuff. Yeah, I haven't even gotten to a point where I can cash out the $50. It's kind of like I think you were telling me about that at one point too.
Yeah.
And then the thing.
Yeah, where I like owed Bandcamp money somehow.
Yeah. It's like,
how the fuck do I owe you money?
See, Bandcamp, here's a business model for anybody. You can have this one. I know David is into coding. If you could make a site that's like Bandcamp, but just charge people less. So like Bandcamp, I think takes 10% or more, and then PayPal takes their cut. But if you can make a site like Bandcamp, but that was like took 3%, and you'd still make a lot of fucking money. Because let's go to Bandcamp. Right? I like Bandcamp, right? But I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, like, Bandcamp is a great example too.
I just can't figure out their fucking mathematics. To me, it makes no sense at all.
Well,
it's like how
I don't know.
How is it that I owe you like $8 or something?
10% or 5%. They used to have a different pricing model.
Yeah, but the point is, like, how the fuck if we've sold like 10 downloads or something in the in however long.
Well, because I know what they used to do. So they used to not charge you per download. So they would say,
I don't even know how it works, man.
They would say, here's your $1 for your single.
It's shocking.
And then once you sell 10 singles, then they take their cut.
Yeah, but it's shocking. Like with $10 worth of sales, how is it that I owe you like fucking $18 or something, whatever the fuck? Like, I don't see how that happened.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
My point is,
it doesn't.
If you can come up with a site that's like Bandcamp but charges people less money, that's a really good idea, because Bandcamp, I don't know what they charge right now. I'm looking at this thing. It says they take 15% and then PayPal takes 30%, but PayPal doesn't take. I think if you have microtransactions on, PayPal takes less. What I'm saying is
microtransactions. What the fuck is that?
So with PayPal,
I don't know anything about this.
There's a setting for PayPal. If you're selling goods that are under a certain amount, they'll take less money because it's less amount of money that they're transacting.
If they're taking a reasonable fucking percentage, you shouldn't need to apply for amnesty. Christ's sake, I don't understand.
I don't know. That's PayPal's thing. It's a way to give more money back to the person selling something. So if you have microtransactions, this is my understanding, in PayPal, instead of them taking 3x, they'll only take X if it's under a certain amount. I don't know why they do it. I think it's a way, because if you're selling a track on Bandcamp, it used to be like you're saying, like Bandcamp, by the time PayPal takes its cut, by the time Bandcamp takes its cut, you're left with negative money, at least in your case.
I gotta answer this. This fucking guy keeps calling me every day.
All right. I'll spin this off into really quick. Anyways, the last thing I was going to say is Bandcamp. If you can come up with a business model, a site that's similar to Bandcamp, take less money, that would be a good business model. I think Bandcamp's awesome. I love Bandcamp. I love looking at Bandcamp. I love having my music on Bandcamp. A lot of people discover it, find it. Good community, very cool. But it's just an idea for somebody if they want to use it. You can make a site because all you do is just take less money. And I mean, because if you look at Bandcamp, like I was saying, I think it's 10% or 5%. They've made $328 million. Fans have paid artists $328 million using Bandcamp total. That's what they have on their homepage. So, what's 10% of $328 million? Bandcamp doesn't have offices. It's people working remotely, from what I understand. So that's a lot of fucking money. 10% of $328 million. What is that? $32.8 million Bandcamp has made since its inception. So if you started a company that took 5%, even fucking 3%, which is this is pretty much what DistroKid model is to Spotify, or to CD Baby rather. If you had a site that took 3% or even 5%, you could be making $15 million potentially if your site's a hit. But I don't know. Obviously, it has to scale and has to get to a certain size, but I'm not a fucking coder. I mean, I've fucked around with coding. I know a little bit about it, but I have no desire to do that. But there you go. There's a business idea. You can have it, and you don't have to credit me. Good luck. So sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Chat disconnected. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Wait, this is the old one. That's not right. We're still going, fam? Sorry, I've been fucking rambling. CD Baby flat free. Gotta clear those samples. Anybody in here making any real money? I don't know. I don't know if anybody here is, Matt. That's what I said. I'm still waiting to breach the point where I can debit that money, and honestly, that money is just going to be paying for putting up the first couple things I put up on Spotify anyway. So it's kind of just all going back. It's almost like if you lost $20, at this point. Oh, Matt, musician, someone who packs $5,000 worth of gear in a van and drives 200 miles to make $50. There you go.
I don't know. There's pictures. There's a meme that has like a fucking Yugo or something. It's like $5,000 worth of gear into a $500 car to drive to a gig and make $50.
Yeah. I went off on a tangent as usually. Every chat you say that. Yeah, my bad. I don't know. Bobby said people need to start buying physical albums. Yeah. I mean,
some people still do buy physical albums. I mean, at shows and stuff, they do.
Yeah, you guys. On the last show I went to, you guys were fucking selling like hotcakes, man.
It's not like we sell like thousands of the fucking things, but you definitely sell like more than just a few at almost every show.
Yeah.
And T-shirts, T-shirts fly out of the goddamn suitcase.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the physical stuff is great, and the idea is like if you can make something that somebody wants and that it's like a piece of art or something, or give some people something people can't get from the streaming, then I think it's a great thing to make. Right. It's like the whole idea of cassette culture, and people into cassettes again. It's a cheap format, cheap to buy, cheap to make, and it's still
It's like T-shirts, man.
Yeah, same thing.
if you do them yourself, they're cheap as shit to make. People
Well, that's
fucking
the
eat
other-
that stuff
yeah.
up because like every single one's just slightly different, and the artwork is already sort of like.
DIY. Yeah.
But the artwork is.
Yeah, those shirts are fucking cool, man.
But the artwork in the one case is really like. I don't know, provocative to some people, I guess. Like the guy with the fucking gun up his nose and shit. Like,
yeah.
So, everybody wants to wear something that makes people in the street go,
ooh. Yeah, I like wearing that shirt. I feel tough.
There's a lot of people that like
tough.
like that shirt. So, whatever.
I think I don't know, man. That's the other classic musician trope is if you're a musician, you're really a t-shirt salesman. Like that's really your business.
Well, your business as a musician is to create your art, but when it comes to the merchandise, like you got to sell fucking anything somebody will buy if you want to try to make like anything from it.
And that's what I mean. Like if you can sell something that is unique or provide somebody with something they can't normally get, that's the idea. If you can make a book that your music plays to, or I don't know, something unique that's
Most like
board game or something. I don't know.
Like Martyr Art, he made his little coffin things. He had like this little gimmick that's like a wooden coffin that he hand painted, and he made labels for it. Shit, sweet. Then he lined it with studio foam, and inside of it is an SD card with I think 3 or 4 of his albums on it. And for like $20, you get like this hand done, coffin box that flips open. It's got the SD card in it. And the SD card's huge, so not only you get the records, but you can also put other shit on the SD card.
Yeah, you got an SD card too.
Yeah, no, I mean
that's a great example of
that's
merch
the DIY, man.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, with music and everything we're talking about and streaming and music, how readily available it is, the digital copies aren't really. I don't know. I don't want to say worth anything, but they don't have much value because there's so much of them, and where something like these rare records from bands that only put out one record that is a cult band, and that's an entirely different story. But yeah, merch, baby. What kind of merch can you make that will be unique to what you're doing? That will provide somebody with something that they can't get anywhere else. That's a question we should all be asking, I guess. If our idea is to make money selling merch or selling stuff.
Matt's talking about buying a stack of CDs at shows. At shows, most of the time you're buying straight from the artist, and most of those artists are probably unsigned, so the only one getting a cut out of that is the artist himself. Or themselves, whatever. But even when it comes to like album sales on the road for most labels, it's like you gotta do your weeklies or your dailies, depending on how you're set up. You gotta send in sound scan sheets for those sales, which means that like your record company knows what you sold. And
so that's what like dailies, weeklies means.
Yeah. I used to have to do that shit on tour all the time.
I never understood. I thought that was some. Yeah. Cause
someplace I probably have the blank. Some of the blanks still. I'll see if I can find those.
That would love. Yeah, you got to bring those through. That sounds like fun.
The ones I have were for. I think they were sent to me from like Megaforce Records, which was kind of funny because the band I was working with wasn't even on Megaforce. It's just what their their agent guy, whatever. That's the shit he sent me. That's what I used to use.
Interesting. Hey Jeremy. Yeah, we were just chatting about the that Orrin Hatch bill, the Good Latte bill. I don't know. Yeah, it seems legit. I think the people at the top, as usual, are going to be making the most money from it. I don't think people like anybody watching this, unless you're Kid Rock or somebody of that echelon. I don't know. Not to be jaded or sound like an asshole, but I think the people at the top are going to make a lot more money and get paid for what they're doing, and maybe some of us will get a couple extra pennies here and there.
If you think about it, like music business is a fucking pyramid scheme, and it always has been.
Yeah.
So,
And
But
it's really not. A music business isn't really about music. It's about.
it's not. It's not at all. And the music business on the whole has never really been.
It's about making some people at the top a lot of fucking money.
But it's never really been about the art. It's always been about the product.
Yeah.
They don't give a flying
And the
fuck.
product isn't the music. It's the look of the band and the.
They don't give a fuck as long as whatever it is that they have in their little pocket is something that they can sell to as many people as possible. They don't give a shit what it looks like or sounds like or how expressive it is or what it does to the artist or any of that shit.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking difference to them. When you sign that contract, you're nothing more than another line in somebody's fucking ledger.
Yeah.
That's all that shit is.
Right.
That's it. They don't care. So once you're sort of on that hook or in that ledger, as it were, like, you have to figure out what that game is and how to play with them, to make it work for you, I think.
Yeah.
But the game is definitely not geared in your favor as the artist, and it never has been. Ever. Never, ever has been.
Level that I think, I don't want to generalize and speak for everybody here, but, one real quick thing. Treatment has a question.
Tape repro, yeah, what about it?
I have one thing I wanted to make one comment about. I was talking to Tim the other day, a little bit off topic, but I think it's on topic, about physical merch. So he's into the gaming culture and like Warhammer 40K and things of that nature, tabletop board games. And he's just got this guy. This guy made a bunch of rule books for one of the games, and him and his friend wanted to get the copies of the book, and they said, hey, they kind of knew this guy. Said, hey, what makes we want to donate or kind of like make sure you get some money from this. What makes you more money, the physical copy of your book that's print on demand, or the digital download of your book? And he said, get the digital downloads if you don't need the print, because I make almost 100%.
Because he's probably downloaded them from whatever his private host is.
Well, yeah, but I guess my point is, like, I think most artists, I would think, are making more money from the digital downloads of things versus having a physical copy of something.
I would say that most artists on a label are probably, when they're on the road, they're probably living off of merch.
Right. I guess, yeah. I guess for like somebody like me, if I was to make a CD and it cost me, I don't know, $3 to make a CD,
Right.
and I sold them for 10, potentially making $7. I think I would make more from somebody spending $10 on a digital download if it was hosted on my own site, like this guy probably did.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess like
true.
if you want to support artists and support people, that's always a good question to ask them, because I just thought that was fascinating. What Tim told me about that was, here's somebody who has print on demand copies of something, but the digital copies are actually netting them more money, because once you put that motherfucker in a PDF,
it's done.
You can make as million of those, and
as long as you maintain control of it.
Yeah, that's the point, right?
That is the.
Well, that goes back to the Bandcamp thing, Yeah. Bandcamp, and you always have a payment processor. There's always some middleman saying, unless you send me cash in an envelope, there's always some middleman who's taking, and that's, hey, they got to process the payment, whatever, Stripe, PayPal, all this shit. But, and that's a nominal fee, I guess, in some of these situations. But anyway,
usually,
just throwing that out there, something to think about. So Treeman is asking about printing signal to tape so that it's and playing back while it's being printed. Isn't that just a form of delay? Don't people do that with tape machines? They make them into like tape delays? Is that third head?
I mean, yeah, that's certainly can work that way. That latency, though, between those two heads is going to be fairly negligible. It's not going to be like I don't know. It'll be like a very slight echo or whatever, depending on what you do with it.
A couple, 20 milliseconds or something. I don't know how
I doubt it's even that much. If you're recording that, like, well, I don't know what the IPS is on a cassette on those tape machines. I forget. It's like 3 or something. But
Jeremy, you guys could open a label. Really?
Look at that fucking 15 IPS, let's say, on an open reel to reel. If you were to, from the record head to the repro head or the play head and the repro, whatever the fuck, I don't know, however you're looking at it. That gap between heads is like, like if you were listening to live audio and then monitoring off of the repro head and mixing those two together, it'd be perceptible probably as some sort of phase incoherency rather than like a about delay kind of deal.
Yeah, right.
But tape loops work on that sort of principle too. I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that too. Treeman said, I noticed some YouTube vids and they use the repro head and it's a tape machine as a real-time effect. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that.
But a lot of studios will record a project to tape and then dump it into Pro Tools, not in real time. It will happen after the fact. It'll be a batch dump once the passes are captured. Running it inline just as an effect most of the time. I think when studios do shit like that, they're just running the either the line amps in the machine as the effect, or they're running the mic pre's that are built into it as some sort of front end.
I see a couple of you guys, David, Bobby, MPF, talking about the payments of the streams. Yeah, I don't know. And Mike's saying some people do check it out. He's noticed an increase. That's cool. I mean, the big thing for me, I say this all the time: start a channel. Show people what you're doing. Show people what you can do. Show people your tricks and recording things. I've noticed an increase, and it's all the TascFam and people checking it out. I appreciate everybody checking it out and using the songs some of the songs and demoing and it's like as a side thing from the channel that I always say, and this is something I always say is that more people have checked out my music probably in the past year and a half of doing this than an entire career of I can't call it a career, but it's 15 years from since I was a kid putting music out and playing shows and putting stuff up. I've had more interest as a side, as something that is collateral from this that I wasn't even intending. So I don't know. I think YouTube's second most visited website on the planet or something, or there's almost 3 billion people on the platform. I don't know. Show people what you can do. That's what Mike's doing. MPF project. He's recording his tracks and doing the fall song challenge, doing some challenges on his channel, getting his stuff out there. It's I feel like you won't know until you do it. Video is huge. But anyway, that's my two cents about that. I got caught up on the conversation. Upload the wrong video. I say. That's good, man. I'm glad we're making sense here. Like the TascFam. I don't know what Jeb is referring to there. Oh, what did you see that? I think Buzz said that even though the Melvins make a ton of really unique vinyl pressings, they mostly make money from touring. Yeah,
I did see that, and that's because the Melvins are always beholden to a fucking record label. So while the pressings might be
Jay's
sweet,
got the shirt on.
Yeah, I bought this at a Melvin show.
There you go. Support the artist.
I also bought the CD of covers of real obscure covers that the Melvins recorded that Buzz and his wife hand silkscreened the artwork on the cases and shit. And those, I imagine, they probably got 100% of because they physically made those.
Yeah.
I think there was 1,000 of them or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, bands fucking on tour, you're living off of merch, and if you're at enough of a level to get decent guarantees, then fucking, maybe you're living off of some percentage of that guarantee. But when you get a booking agent involved, he's going to want 10 to 20%. You have
got your lawyer,
your management involved. Your manager's going to want fucking 10 or 20% of whatever's left. And then if the label gave you a tour advance, tour support they call it, they're going to want return on that tour support also, so they're probably taking 30%. So if your guarantees, let's say you're lucky enough to make $1,000 on a guarantee in a night, what's left of that is probably $300 for you. I mean, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Buzz has always
definitely.
been sort of outspoken
DIY
about
allowed to go.
that, though. He's always the stories and interviews have always been about like how before grunge caught on, they were lucky if they made like $50 at a show, and then like when it happened, they were getting like giant guarantees and playing like these open air festivals and all this crazy shit.
I mean, that goes to show part of all this stuff is timing too.
Yep, big time.
We all hit this in a time. I mean, Bobby's. Some of you guys are older, and our age or older, and some of you guys are probably younger, and it's kind of the timing we're hitting this at is it's a very. I feel like the dust is still settling in this era right now. You know, so
I think there's a lot of people that
I guess the Music Modernizations Act is kind of a new bookend, but
I think there's a lot of people out there every single day as artists who are grasping at straws and trying to figure out what the next thing is to keep themselves afloat as artistic entities and whatever.
Yeah, I think, and that's a good segue into Matt's question. He said, "Where do you see the most from a donation Patreon?" That's actually, I would say that is definitely. It's almost one of the best places, definitely, if you want to support the stuff we're doing here.
PayPal, friends and family. That's where you see That's where you see the best fucking.
PayPal, friends and family.
Yeah, PayPal, friends and family.
Anything. I mean, the thing is, like, Patreon, I think is cool because Jack Conte, the guy that started it, he's from that band Pomplamoose, and they were doing a lot of stuff on YouTube and not seeing a lot of ad revenue or whatever they were trying to do with it, and. Honestly, I think it's really just about anything that you can create and monetize, and then, but Patreon's great too. I think his thing is, and whether you believe it or not, people are starting to support artists. That's the whole idea. It goes back to like Roman times or something when super rich supported somebody who is artisan. But the idea is, I guess it's a good way to do it. And Jack Conte seems to believe that. We're in this new era now where people, kids that are younger in high school and younger, if they, are pursuing creative arts and can get themselves out there enough, they could potentially live off. And I know people that live off Patreon and, Amanda Palmer, the model of her stuff and really just doing it yourself. And I think that's really the way to go if you want to maintain your own control over your art. And, but... like Jay is saying, you're going to be slugging it out and just trying to pivot and figure out a lot of new ways to do shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It worked out good for Amanda Palmer marrying a wealthy author.
So that's right.
I guess if that's DIY, then
what's his name?
Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman, yeah.
Yep.
Prior to that, she was like a street performer and, she was like one of those people doing a lot of the early Kickstarter stuff and had a community. I'm sure being married to Neil Gaiman helps, but
to me, it's not DIY when you pay $1,500 a day to record in a giant fucking facility.
Sure. Yeah, I guess it's something to define, right?
Yeah, no.
I think maybe that story 10 years ago is more relevant than it is today, for sure. But I think things like Patreon are cool. PayPal, friends and family.
Yeah, that's the most direct way to do it. PayPal, friends and family.
My thing is that with the channel, I really want to try to provide as much value to people as I can. If that's something that people see as valuable, then Patreon, Super Chat, even the products we made. The pedals. That was really the biggest thing. I think, definitely the biggest thing. Making something that other people want to see that they see value in. It's kind of the same idea.
Well, to me, the only thing that's really of value, pretty much, almost globally in my life, is tangible shit.
Right. Where you can see, yeah.
Put it in my hands, put it in front of me so I can see it. Otherwise, it's of no consequence. So,
right.
So being able to provide somebody with a product that's tangible that they can, put in their pocket or in their gig bag or on their pedal board or, in their studio rig, like that to me is a maximized really value.
For sure. I think that's really, and I feel like that is the perfect, it's funny because, after doing all this digital stuff and doing the streaming and making the vids and
content
stuff.
Like that definitely is like what draws the people in and connects the universe, But
it's interesting though that like what you're saying though, like making the physical product
that makes it real.
Still the king of
these people sit out here. These people sit out here though and watch us every single fucking week and like hear us talk about various thises and that's and but it doesn't really mean as much until they have some piece of the thing that we've been talking about, like sitting in their lap, whatever.
But
Chilling your balls while you're sitting there watching us in boxer shorts and stuff, eating fucking rice-a-roni.
Right.
Don't lie, I know somebody out there is eating rice-a-roni too.
Every time I go on YouTube, it fucks up. Yeah, it's because we love you guys. Thanks, David. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too, is, people just choosing to spend their time watching us.
Sure.
Like, I think there's inherent value in that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you could spend your time literally doing anything else, but you've chosen to spend it hanging out with us and talking music and hearing what we have to say and our takes on stuff. And, I don't know, like that in that community too. I think there's inherent value in just creating a community of people who are a lot of the stuff we were talking about last week about like Scenius and
but behind all of the digital stuff is all people you could reach out to and physically connect with. So the realm is still within tangibility.
Yeah. I just think I think just in terms of our industry and music, it's I mean you seem to have success with people coming out to the shows, but like I never had any success doing that. I don't know if it's
digitally we have jack shit for success, like make fucking anything, but
bunch of coins for a bunch of legends. Thanks, David.
Oh shit.
Dang, thanks, man.
Our merchandising has only really yielded us anything in person.
Yeah.
That's it, I mean, the t-shirts and shit you could fucking order through Bandcamp. You can order from us directly off Instagram if you want to. Doesn't do fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
But when people are standing there and you got that shit all spread out and they can pick it up and smell the fucking ink and shit on it and,
Yeah, because because I think that over everything, that the thing that trumps all is
the tangible thing, man.
And the physical interaction.
Yeah.
Because you can't fake, right. You and I sitting next to each other.
Sure. Well, I mean, we could. Maybe we're green screen, man. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
I don't even exist. Maybe I'm a program.
I programmed the
fucking Matrix
algorithm to be like the complete opposite.
Yeah. the curmudgeonly algorithm.
Thanks, David. Me. Appreciate that. That's awesome. We'll put that toward the next diner or visit or coffee smoothies or something.
Yeah, we can't do diner down here, man. The diner
here sucks. Yeah.
God, it's fucking bad,
we went through that
man.
field trip, man. Where were we talking? You were saying that diner in Jersey?
Suburban in New Jersey.
Do it, man.
That fucking place is dope, man.
Let's fucking do it. Maybe we'll have a 424 op audio meetup, man.
That's a pretty long ride.
Hey,
man.
We're gonna be down in NJ. I get a little a shot each. Thanks. Yeah, we'll take a shot of green juice.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be green tea for me.
Green tea.
But thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I think playing can benefit. Yeah, definitely. I think that's something I really appreciate about you, Jay, and that's something you've really opened my eyes to is networking locally is something I feel like Jay is unbelievable at. Something I never had a grasp on. Like, seeing the shows you play and the people and having that interaction with people locally, like that's something I just don't have the skill set for. But of like doing stuff for the channel, making videos, connecting with people online about the interesting, like I got that, but I'm not as good at. I kind of figured out after 15 years of fucking around and being in bands and doing shit, I kind of realized that this is what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is doing exactly what we're doing, and that's why we show up and do this. Whereas I think for you and the stuff you've done, and like you're saying, you're all about the tangible physical world. If you can build an amp for somebody at the shop down the street from your house and sell that for however much money, and that's going to be most of the money that you need to make that month, that's very real to you.
Like I already paid, like November's bills are
that's awesome.
done. I'm almost done with collecting up for December's bills at this point.
That's fucking sick.
But and if I sell that red one, I'll be over the hump.
Yeah.
So, but with me and like the people who come to shows and the people that I know, like almost all of that is connections made
through repairs.
Yeah, I mean through service work and through recording work, and there's tons of people that come up to me all the time that I couldn't tell you the fuck they are, man. It's like somebody they know knows me, and they've sharked me out through like Facebook or whatever. It's like, yo, you're that guy. What's up, man? It's like, sharked me. It's like, I know you're hunting me through fucking still water, bro. Like, what is it that you want?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, like most of the people that come out to our shows are, the people that I know that come out to our shows anyway,
But that's
are people who are part of my circle because I've done something for them in the past, and because of that, they've been exposed to the art that we create as a band.
Oh, so it's really the same idea then, as like, in a way, as doing the channel, like making the videos and helping people that way is expose them to the stuff I do or the art I make.
Right. Except that some of the people that come to those shows are like people that I've known since long before there was even a band to come out to see. It's like,
I guess what I'm saying is
people who are like diehard fans of me,
yeah,
and I just happen to be in a fucking band, so they come out and watch that band.
I guess, I mean, the compliment I feel like for me to pay you is that I don't know many people who still can tap into the local social network. You know what I mean? Like, that's a skill that I don't think is where it's like where people it's hard to get people to care about anything. I think
it really is. Even
and
where
especially,
I am,
it's something I saw some post on Craigslist. I don't know who somebody. I don't know. Sometimes I look at the musician post and somebody said, for just once, I want somebody to come out to my shows, and just for like an hour, I want people as an audience and crowd to see me do my thing. And it was a very strange post, but I mean, I think
that sounds like a post of desperation, man.
It was.
But there's no. But it's. There's no magical fucking formula to that. Like, if you want people to come out to your shows, then
yeah. Well, one thing for me, I thought about experimenting with Snugs Harbor. There's a dive bar in New Paltz that has an open mic every Thursday. One thing I wanted to experiment, maybe I'll do this and document it on the channel, is show up once a week for 4 weeks straight for a month. See what happens. Will I meet a bunch of people?
Yeah, make your own residency.
People by the fourth night, the fourth week, will people know who I am and be requesting tracks? Will nobody care? Will I have a whole bunch of new people to interview on the podcast?
I also think that will depend a lot on your body language when you're there and your interactions with people when you're there. Yeah. When I go out in public and I'm not interacting with anybody, but if I'm out and I'm not interacting with anybody, I look fairly unapproachable.
Me too, I think. Yeah.
When I'm just sort of sitting
I'm just
placid, man,
awkward,
like it's... Well, I mean, I think everybody's got a little bit of that in them, but I don't...
And I don't drink. The social lubricant of the day at a bar, like, there's no reason for me to be there. That's what I always say, to wait 3 hours to play for 10 minutes is not...
I don't ever go out to bars on purpose. Usually I go there for food.
Right.
Like if I go to the Anchor, it's because I really needed a good grass-fed burger.
Right.
And I didn't feel like firing up the fucking fire pit grill at home.
Right.
So... But, there are also places that I avoid on purpose because I know that when I go there, I'm going to have to deal with people.
Yeah.
And, I don't really like that sometimes. So I won't go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, when it comes to my interactions with people, though, I've always been all right, I think, with most people. I can get along with just about anybody, but I'm really good and really fast at weeding out the assholes. And not assholes like me, but I mean like fucking scumbags, like people that will fucking, beat you up and take your wallet right the first chance. But I don't know. I think we're just fortunate enough that enough people know who we are, or I am, when it comes to local shit, that it can matter.
Oh, there's no diners up there in Montreal? I'm sorry, Jay. What was the last point you just made? I'm sorry, I completely
don't remember.
People locally coming out. You said there's you just know people.
Oh, I think we're just fortunate that people do come out. I mean, and that's whether it's because of the connections that I've made, or because they like the music or whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's just good to have people that, are of like mind, come out to your thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. David, I think the biggest problem is lack of time and meaning and lack of community. Not anti-capitalistic, but capitalism is a huge mess. I think a lot of people would agree on that who aren't communists or anti-capitalistic too. Jeremy said live music is dead. Everybody buried in a cell phone. Why pay? Unless it's your favorite high school band. Yeah, the thing too is like bands, today, especially with the internet, and um, there's no shortage of bands, right?
Mm.
They say like people who know how to code, and like these people making these startups are the new rock stars, and part of that is because it's a skill that is desirable right now. Um, maybe in 20 years, when every kid in high school needs to learn how to code because or maybe computers will just code everything. It won't be a skill that's worth as much. And I feel like music is much the same way, in that it's a skill anybody can kind of pick up and do as a hobby and enjoy. And it's not like Jay's Surmiser and Be Cool Cowboy. It's not like we're the only two bands in a 100-mile radius. There's probably thousands of bands in that radius, right? So it's like there's no shortage of. It's not like if you want to go listen to a band, you have to go to the club and listen to it, or the bar. It's literally, you can listen to whatever you want, as much as you want right now on YouTube, in another window as you're listening to this, or on your phone as you're hanging out doing whatever with your friends. So it's like, that culture, the community that I think David was mentioning, or Jeremy was mentioning, is like, doesn't really exist either, because there's no need for it to experience the things that you want to experience within that community. So
I'm gonna step back to this diner culture.
yeah.
New York and New Jersey both have a pretty solid diner culture. It just so happens though that the diner in New Paltz, the one in the plaza, the most centrally located one, is a fucking sack of wet assholes. Basically, it's just about the worst place you could eat. It used to be good when I was like in high school and we would skip school and come down here, but man, it's fucking terrible. But New York in general has a very strong diner culture, and most of the diners are really pretty fucking
Dude,
good.
yeah, that one, for some reason,
It's
is
fucking awful. I don't know what the fucking problem is.
the thing is, like, so, like, I mean, there's a place, Bistro, in New Paltz, that's like one of the most popular places to eat, and it's
That's the one on the hill, right?
We walk past it pretty much every night. No, this one is like right across.
Oh, it's not the one I'm thinking of.
It's by like Hetty Teddy's. It's like right across from the record shop, like right at almost the Four Corners, where it's like the
Not the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like a really good. It's not a diner in the traditional sense. You wouldn't go past that and be like, that's a diner, but it's very much so has this unique diner style food to it that makes it really great. So there's places like that, and places like diners, or just diners that are good, and then there's like, I don't know. I mean, like the one that's we're talking about in the parking lot up there. That place is horrendous.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I feel like there's good ones, and ones that have reputations of being amazing, and then there's a lot that are not the greatest.
Bobby, I think you'd be surprised about my approachability in person, though, as much as, whatever.
When I first met Jay, I met you because we were recording at the pizza place.
Yeah, what was that experience like?
I would say, I was like, my first impression was, I like this guy. He's not somebody to be fucked with.
There you go.
I think that's, so it's, yeah. That was literally my first.
And then what'd you think after I bought all that Mexican food?
This guy's awesome.
There you go. So it wasn't all bad then.
This guy's cool. I thought that was super cool. You like went around the corner, bought a bunch of Mexican food for everybody, and then we had a chow down, a little powwow session, and that was fucking fun as hell, man. Yeah, I was like, this guy's gonna be my friend, and here we are. It was a couple of years later, straight chilling.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I have a habit or a tendency to bring people down a fucking notch, but I'm also.
I think you're really good at like reading people, like you're saying,
Yeah, and I'm also really good at protecting people when they actually need it. So, take that as it might be, but it's also good to have a big guy who looks kind of unapproachable when something pops off someplace too, because if I've been standing in the corner all night and something stupid happens and then I start moving, whoever that stupid thing is happening between, both of those people are going to notice that thing and usually shut stuff down pretty quick. Hashtag unofficial bouncer.
Have you ever gotten? You ever do any bouncing or anything like that? Yeah.
No, because I don't like to fight. I'm not really into like the idea of physical violence, but
Right.
I am also.
I can see you though being like
I'm
being
also
in that position and putting your fucking foot down, especially like a college bar like this.
I'm not a fan of
college town.
I'm not a fan of watching people be harassed or.
I mean, who is though,
physically assaulted or in any way like having their fucking space violated. I'm not with it. But for me, like, size usually comes as the advantage. If I jump in between two people and I scream with everything that I got in the aggressor's face, most times that's the end of that. It's just not anymore because it's so fucking taken aback by that thing happening. I scream fucking loud, man.
Yeah.
So you don't want that right in your face.
If you're ever been to a Surmiser show, you definitely would know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of those shows I could have probably done without a PA. But, But I don't think I'm necessarily, like, totally unapproachable. I can be intimidating given circumstances, I guess. But
I think it's all about how you approach people. Like, I don't think anybody's ever really unapproachable,
Most of the people that get to know me, like, randomly in public, it happens over cigarettes. Like, I'll be standing out in front of whatever restaurant I'm at or, like, wherever I'm at.
You're also, like, super
smoking,
personable, too, man. Like, the other night we were walking to that construction dude. You're like, hey, man, like, your hat. And you struck up a conversation with him. Like, that's a skill set, man.
Yeah, but I told you, I
can't do that.
I can talk to fucking anybody, man.
That's a skill set, though, man. That's like, I have, like, really bad social anxiety sometimes. And, like, to the point where
I'll tell you what,
leave my fucking house.
If you ever want to hone that kind of skill into something that's, like, where you'd be more comfortable in public, like hook up with somebody who's like a vendor at a fair or a craft fair or a thing like that and go do that shit.
Yeah, you kind of
like a position where you have to talk to people, so you figure out creative ways to not be awkward about it.
Yeah
that
makes sense.
Yeah, it also, like, when it comes to certain things, it's really helpful to, like, I hate to say it this way, but to, like, know the lingo. Right. So, like, if I'm interfacing, like, younger people, like, I kind of know the sort of bullshit abbreviated words they use and the slang stuff. But then, like, older people, the slang is different. So it's like...
You might not want to curse as much.
Yeah, it's like, so you got to be able to navigate that sort of social shit, too, when it comes to linguistics and also the physical, the body language
like
and the physical presence of people. Yeah, sort of.
Do people even say that anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. I say it sometimes. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, that story, too.
But, yeah, I mean, that's the sort of place where, like...
Know your audience.
That's sort of, like, to me, the place where physical violence is acceptable. Like, if there's, even to this day, if there was some guy beating up his fucking girlfriend in a parking lot, I would do everything I could to make sure that he limped home. That's it. Yeah. There's no need for that shit.
Well, I think when there's something objectively fucked up going down.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times when something really fucked up is going down, like, the people who are in the wings of that, it's like flight mode kicks in. Everybody sticks to the fucking walls because they don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of fire. Fuck it.
Roadhouse, yeah. Patrick Swayze, baby.
Roadhouse.
And Sam, that other guy, too. I can't think of his name. Got the mustachioed cowboy from Big Lebowski. He's in that, too. He's younger.
I don't think I've ever seen Roadhouse.
Oh, my gosh.
That's not the dancing one, is it?
No, it's like Patrick Swayze is this, like, guru bouncer guy, and he goes to this place where it's like a horrible bar where all this shit's going down, and then this guy Sam is like his friend that calls him in, and it's all about how he kind of diffuses this situation and takes it over. Let's stop the stream right now and go watch it. Yeah, hell yeah. David said, Mike, I get the feeling you've gained a lot of presence and public skills. Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about that a little bit via email, David, and that's what I always say too. It's really something that I used to be really bad at. Like, even just riffing like this. I was surprised today I did this podcast that's coming out tomorrow alone, just riffing on some fear and self-doubt that I was thinking about. And Yeah, I would have never been able to do this kind of stuff. Like, even in public, like even speaking with people. Like I was saying, I went on a job interview a couple months ago, and I fucking crushed it. And I would like in the past, I would have been terrible, but I don't know. I'm just so much better at, and that's what I always say too. Like if YouTube blew up tomorrow, the skill set I learned from it between filming, editing, lighting, speaking, all this shit is like stuff I'll take with me forever.
You know, you also have to realize that like dealing with a group of people is kind of like dealing with snakes. Like snakes are just as afraid of you as you are of them. Right. So in public speaking, like those people are just as uncomfortable sitting in those chairs listening to you, and just as uncomfortable with the environment and the exchange as you are being in control of that environment and that exchange.
And then there's always say half the people aren't paying attention anyway, too.
Probably not, especially modern day with electronics being, what they are and everything. But, I think when it comes to things like public speaking, even if you're not confident, you have to fake it till you make it, and you have to do your very best to command the room. And same with like live performance and stuff, like a lot of the bands I see, everybody goes on stage and it's kind of like,
I've been guilty of that.
And they do the thing, like I don't, like
you guys fucking level that place.
But when I get up there, man, like it doesn't matter if I even say anything. It's not the point. It's the way that you stand there. It's the way that you do the thing. It's like, it's like the difference between going to see like a shoegaze band and going to see like Agnostic Front or something.
Yeah.
Like in one situation, everybody's hiding in the lights, and in the other situation, that guy's jumping off the stage trying to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the second guy.
Right.
Because then I know that we both had an experience that way.
Yeah.
I have impacted you. You have probably impacted me somehow. Yeah,
shoegaze is much more of a passerby, passive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole genre name, right? Shoegaze, like literally.
But I got to imagine in that genre too that most of the people in the audience are kind of just standing there looking at their fucking feet too.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to look at.
Right.
There's nothing going on.
Right.
It's like red lights and smoke and shit, and that's it.
Yeah, unless it's like really upbeat.
Yeah. I'm generalizing.
Danceable kind of shit.
I'm generalizing,
for sure.
But it's like, I don't know. I like to know that at the end of the set, and our sets are usually pretty short, 30 to 45 minutes. But I want to know that like I engaged as many people as possible in that room, and I think that's evidenced by, if we open a show, we might start the set to 5 people. We'll end the set to everybody that's not stuck in a conversation or eating a burger.
Yeah. And
then when the next band comes on, the room's clear.
I've witnessed this phenomenon.
Yeah, the room's fucking clear. It's gone.
What do you think? What do you think it is about that magnetism? It's the stage presence.
I have no idea. I think it's loud. It's bold, and
I think there's something real to it.
I don't think it.
Like something that's subconsciously attracting people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the boldness and the volume of it are really the two things that sort of reel people in.
Reel people in, yeah.
And the fact that it's basically relentless until it's done is the thing that keeps them there. So I don't know, but I like to know that I'm doing everything I can to command the room, and as I've put it many times before too, it's like when I step out on that stage, I want to kill you. Yeah. Everybody that's standing there. Like my objective at the end of that is to not only destroy myself, but to destroy you as well.
Right.
And that's what happens.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that where like you guys play and you may play second, third.
Doesn't matter.
And the place is
empty. Same fucking thing happens every time.
It's definitely it's interesting.
And actually, like even with shows where we had to play quieter or we brought much smaller amps or whatever, like the phenomenon still exists.
It still happens.
So it's not that like we scare the crowd away with the sheer volume. It certainly isn't that we're always playing at like the peak time for attendance, because it could be anywhere in the show.
Yeah, I mean I've been to maybe 4 or 5 Surmiser gigs, 3 or 4, and I've definitely noticed like
it always happens.
That happens, yeah. The first time you said that, I was like, really? And then like I like really paid attention, and I was like, oh yeah.
Well, when we played the Anchor, that was the last show we did.
I didn't see that one, yeah.
But when we played the Anchor, we opened.
When you played that show at BSP, that happened.
Yeah, same thing happened here. But at the Anchor, we opened, and when we opened, there was probably 5 or 6 people.
And you guys closed at the tea shop.
Oh yeah, the Cauldron. Yeah, we mowed that place down twice.
But see, it's still the same thing. It was like ghost town afterwards. You know.
Yeah.
It was packed when you guys were playing.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen all those people there. Everybody that any wayward person that was anywhere near that show was in there. Oh, we gotta mention MBV.
Oh no. But
Surmiser and NC. There you go. You guys gotta tour it, man.
Yeah. If we can get our fucking drummer to
how's he doing? He's
stay in line. He's been doing guest stuff for this guy's band as like a bass player or whatever. But like we're in the months right now where everybody's got something to do except me every single fucking weekend. So I don't know. It's really fucking pissing me off, big time.
Huh.
So I don't know. But yeah, we do have a couple shows coming up in November. So.
Dope. What I gotta check those out.
One's in Prattsville at the DIY space up there. It's kind of like a hardcore and metal
Where's
show.
Where's that? Is that Albany or?
Prattsville is up 28, I think. I don't know exactly where it is. It's one of those little, like, sort of mountainy towns. But there's a couple of, like, younger punk bands there.
I mean, yeah, there is something to the volume thing, David, I think, too. So Kevin Shields really tried to get the sound so loud because he believed once you get beyond bleeding eardrums, there's heaven. He tried to shock his audience. There is something to, like, I mean, that was like, I remember one of the Flaming Lips documentaries I watched with, like, Wayne Coyne said, he's like, you know, our objective in the early days was, because they were like, we're just a bunch of punks, like, making music, and he said, we just tried to be the loudest band at the place, because because people could see, like, man, those guys suck, but they were loud, or, like, you know, so that's like a way to be remembered in a way. But also things I think sounds just sound better. I mean, that's the whole idea of the loudness wars and compression.
But
that's, you know, I'm getting a little off topic, but
my deal with our volume live is that, like,
yeah, Souvlaki is really good.
Yeah.
And ditto for Dino, yeah.
When we play live, we are playing in a venue at the same volume that we practice at. The amps don't change. Literally, never. Like, they are balanced so that you can hear the instruments in ratio with the drum set at all times.
Yeah.
That's the way we practice, and that's the way that we play shows. So, you know, it's kind of loud. It's probably a hair louder than most bands, at least. But, you know, whatever.
AC/DC volume. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing, you know, if you play that loud. Yeah, so. I think that's a part of playing live rock music, right? You're going to be hurting. Your ears are going to be... Yeah, I've always tried to wear earplugs, too. I've known a lot of guys in bands that stopped wearing them, and they kind of have said in post that they really shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I kind of have the same thing, too. Like, even though I've experienced a lot of loud volumes and shit, my ears are still pretty good. Like, I've gone to audiologists and stuff.
I'm definitely missing some frequencies.
I got a couple places. I've told that story, I think, about the feedback squeal that I'm pretty sure, like, I knew as soon as that was over that I was like, I'm never going to hear the same again. Oh my God, you had blood coming out of your ear? That's crazy. Yeah, you're right, dude.
I'd like to go play Montreal personally. Ears, I see David was talking about Montreal and stuff. I would love to go bring the Surmiser show to Montreal. I mixed that band 3 at Le Fouffon Electrique in Montreal, and that club was fucking badass, man.
That's awesome. You guys should do that. How hard is it to get over the border?
I wouldn't try it with anything but like guitars and cables in hand.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You know what's
need
funny
a work
is
visa. I gotta step out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to do that too real quick.
We're
we're getting to that time. One thing I thought was funny. Austin. Yeah, that would be cool. I think I just saw that show on YouTube, David, the Fouffons Electric's Nirvana show. One thing I thought was funny. At one point I was looking at playing Toronto or Montreal or something, and I was looking. My guitar is like some weird Brazilian wood, the fretboard, and I guess that's one of the things that is you're not allowed to bring that into Canada. Apparently, it's like one of these like random types of wood. I guess because it could potentially have pests or insects that could decimate some other part of the ecosystem. I guess. I just thought that was just this really random factoid that I never forgot. But some kind of weird wood in this guitar and some guitars. So if you're ever traveling between the States and Canada or Canada and the States, like just be wary of that because I'm pretty sure they could confiscate your stuff at that point.
What's that?
So one time I was looking into playing like Toronto or something just for shits or Montreal and how to do it, and a lot of people say you either have to, like you said, there's like a lot of stipulation with what you're selling, what you're bringing, but the thing that I saw that was weird was that this guitar has this weird Brazilian hardwood or something in the fretboard.
Yep.
And that's something
Rosewood.
on the is it rosewood?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something on the Canadian like list of like things you cannot bring to Canada. So I just in this random thing I looked at. I'm glad I looked at that because I mean I didn't know that, and had I ever tried to go there with my guitar,
Most likely they would never even know.
notice it.
They probably wouldn't even look.
I was thinking that too. Like if you just threw. If you were going as like a solo artist and you just threw a guitar in your trunk, like they ain't gonna say shit. But
No, but if you're going with merch,
if you're going in like a tour bus or like a van,
if you're going with merch, they need they need full declaration. So they need to know everything you're bringing. They need to know every dollar you're bringing. If you're bringing more than I think it was 3 cartons of cigarettes, you got to declare that unless you bought it at duty free. I mean, it's like it's pretty fucking crazy. Or say it's bleached maple. Yeah. But playing across the border, definitely was a lot of fun with the band that I was touring with as the sound guy. Like, the Canadian people were some of the most accepting and interesting and friendly individuals that I've had the pleasure of meeting on a tour. I think really A Place to Bury Strangers holds the world record for loudest. Place to Bury Strangers is loud as fuck, but I'm not sure what it is that we're talking about here. I'm kind of lost in this chat at the moment. Yeah, well, when it comes to the customs and the border cross, seriously, don't tell them anything they don't ask you. I actually found that our crosses, America into Canada, were the most difficult. So I think that's American-based offices or officers, whatever. Those were always the ones that needed you to come in and answer 50,000 fucking questions. Going back out was not nearly as difficult, usually. But what they do care about is prior convictions, and if anybody that's in your tour party has any prior convictions, that van is going to get flagged every single time, and you're all going to have to go inside and sit there and talk to the officials behind the desk in the little cubicles and shit. So,
guys talking about Canada stuff.
yeah, but there had to be some reason that they were asked explicitly about that, because like touring in a van full of dudes who all fucking smoked weed, like that never came up. And one of the guys that was with us fucking hid away some weed on his person, which we found out later on, and did a border cross that way. And nobody got ringed up with it, so I'm not sure.
Whoa, you almost got fucked up for having peppercorns?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Probably agricultural shit. That's always a big thing too, with any type of travel, the agricultural.
Well, what's interesting about that is like when you drive down into California, California has checkpoints as you come into it.
Right.
Like
Right.
from the north southward into Northern California.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that.
And like they need to know everything that you have: fruits, vegetables, peppercorns, seeds.
Yeah.
They want to know everything you have that's agricultural in your attaché. And when we did that, like on the 3 tour, we had lemons in a cooler in the middle. And we had to give the lemons over. They took the lemons and removed them from our vehicle because you couldn't travel
Whoa.
with fruit from. I think the lemons were purchased in Canada or something. I mean, what the fuck? But like it was like half a case of lemons.
Yeah.
Why that matters to anyone, I don't know. But,
Especially because lemons are definitely imported, so it's pretty odd. Yeah.
yeah, it was very odd. But they took them away from us.
They took my lemons, Jay.
They actually weren't my lemons, but they took our lemons. The lemons, let's say.
All right, I guess we're getting ready to close up the shop here. Any last questions from anybody that we may have missed? We'll take one or two last ones.
See a lot of guitarists pull plugs out of their ears a couple songs into their set.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I can't do it. Leave my plugs in all the time. Fuck that.
Yeah. I used to.
Too loud.
Yeah, it's bad. New song. Seriously, I'd known. I think I missed something there.
Yeah.
David got another amp. Damn, man. What'd you get? Did you get a
what's the
a
amp,
champ?
man?
They took my lemons. New song. There you go, Bobby. Step out of your comfort zone. Thanks again for that track, Bobby. You got to use that for something.
They took my lemons, yodeloo.
Why do you park in the driveway and drive on the parkway? Yeah, I never understood that one either. It's a really good question.
I don't know.
Driveway, drive on. I don't know. That's so strange.
What advice was that, David?
Oh yeah, Jeb. I can't wait to hear what you make with that. We're excited. We're glad those got out there. We're glad everybody's enjoying them. What?
Oh, nice.
Nice. Mine's a 73.
Nice.
That's sick. That's awesome. Congrats. You're gonna really like that. Mine, if you get like it sounds different. Well, it just has a little bit of a volume boost if the vibrato is all the way down. I'm sure Jay could answer why that happens.
Because it changes the bias point of the tube when you minimize the vibrato. But the vibrato also steals a little bit of signal the way the signal interacts with the triodes there. But yeah, you can also do the unhook mod where you take, I think it's the wire off of the center.
Oh, Tad, what up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to see you. Hola, TascFamers. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you, Tad. How's things over at Witch Ape? And that said, one good thing about playing loud is that it pushes the majority of the crowd back, less likely to spill beer in your pedals.
Man, I don't want to push the crowd back. I want to scare them into coming forward, shit.
It's going good. How about you, Jay? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty all
we're
right.
Doing great. Getting shit done, man. We got the TascFams out. Jay blasted those done a few weeks ago at that project that we started in April with those. We finally got them out. It's fucking sick. And now we've just been streaming all night, trying to do some stuff, hanging out with the TascFam. Good to see you coming through.
Actually, this question on here, from Exodus, if a reference album barely hits -4 all the way, was it mastered? Yeah, I mean, the mastering treatment from different periods in time and from different engineers and different standards are really fucking all over the place. There's nothing saying that it has to be mastered to 0 or +1 or +4 or whatever off into fucking oblivion and infinity or compressed to shit.
Yeah, I mean, especially on like older records too. Like even I want to say like even Fleetwood Mac stuff or like Bowie stuff from the 70s. Like those records are nowhere near the acceptable, or not acceptable, but they're just not mastered like today's stuff is mastered. Like
Right.
I've seen stuff obviously all that stuff, there's remastered versions of it and things here and there, but
I like masters that are very loud and sort of bold, but
Sure.
there's something to be said for the classic sounds of classic records too, and that mastering treatment not being pushed up to infinity is why some of those records sound the way they do.
Dynamics. Yeah, a lot of Neil Young shit.
Sure.
Brian Eno, yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. I would say the bigger question is, but see, that's like, yeah, as like an ambient album, it's probably a bit different. I guess another bigger question would be, is the whole album pretty consistent? You know, that's kind of like a big thing with mastering too, is just consistency among the tracks. But again, if it's a ambient album, that might not be the case at all. So
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I guess we're at about 9:17 now. It's
we've been going hard.
guess we probably David got a good deal on that.
Oh, that's cool. 400. That's pretty good.
So yeah, Tad, man, glad you stopped by.
Thanks, Tad. Yeah, sorry we were closing up a little bit, but it's good to see you.
We should definitely touch base sooner than later, man. I haven't talked to you in a while, so one of these days in the next couple weeks, I'll give you a shout.
That'd be cool.
We'll see what's happening out there. Looks like you've had some sessions and stuff going on too, so that's good. I'm glad to see you're busy out there.
Yeah. Following on the Instagram, checking out all the stuff that's been going down.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
So, all right, we should call it before we get on the next tangent and
Yeah.
get locked in. So, everybody
Thanks,
take care
David.
of y'all selves.
Thanks for the super chat, David. Appreciate you. We're gonna go get some green juice shots or something.
Make sure you do something you want to do every day this week. And every
Yeah,
week.
hell yeah.
And we'll catch you next week at the same
Twin,
bat.
thanks,
Same
thanks,
bat
buddy.
time on
Bobby,
the same
thanks.
bat
Tad,
channel.
good to see you later on. Jeremy, as always, a pleasure. David, all you guys. Matt. Yeah, I gotta get my Black Hoodie Venom mic. Yeah, hell yeah. I gotta get the green one out.
All right, we'll catch you all
Maybe
next week.
Yeah.
Tad, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Hell yeah. Later, guys. Thanks for coming through tonight.